The storm didn't just howl that night, it roared, as though the heavens themselves were mourning something lost. Lightning split the sky over Phoenix, Arizona, illuminating the sleek glass facade of St. Mary's Hospital. Inside, the usual chaos of a night shift buzzed on. Nurses dashed between rooms, machines beeped in relentless rhythm, and the intercom crackled with updates. Nurse Amelia Carter stood at her post near the ER's front desk, clutching a paper cup of cold coffee. Her night had been grueling but uneventful, routine, even. That was, until the doors slid open, bringing with them not just the chill of the rain but an inexplicable presence that froze the room in its tracks. Amelia looked up, expecting to see an ambulance crew or perhaps a drenched late-night visitor. Instead, her breath caught, her heart skipped, and the coffee slipped from her fingers. Standing in the doorway was a lion. Not just any lion, this one was massive, its golden mane dripping wet from the storm. The creature's amber eyes gleamed with an intelligence that was almost human. Yet it wasn't the lion's size, nor its surreal presence in a place like this, that stunned Amelia the most. It was what it carried. In its powerful jaws was a bundle wrapped in damp fabric. Time stood still. Conversations died mid-sentence. The steady hum of the hospital seemed to mute itself, leaving only the pounding rain and the sound of the lion's measured steps as it entered the lobby. The swish of its tail brushed the tiled floor, its every move deliberate and controlled. The lion didn't roar. It didn't lunge. It didn't do anything but move forward, its eyes scanning the room as though it was searching for someone. And then, as if answering a silent call, its gaze locked on Amelia. She felt a shiver race down her spine, not fear, but a deep, unshakable sense of connection. "Am I hallucinating?" whispered a nearby nurse, her voice trembling. "No, it's real," Amelia replied, barely above a whisper herself. The lion padded closer, water dripping from its soaked fur, and gently lowered the bundle to the ground. Then, with an almost reverent nudge of its nose, it pushed the fabric toward Amelia. The mystery unfolds. Amelia's instincts as a nurse overrode her disbelief. Kneeling down, her hands trembling, she peeled back the sodden cloth. What lay within made her gasp. A baby. The infant was no older than a few days. Its skin was ghostly pale, and its tiny chest rose and fell with shallow, labored breaths. Blue lips quivered as the child let out a faint, heart-wrenching cry. "Pediatric team, now!" Amelia shouted, her voice slicing through the paralyzed silence of the room. Doctors and nurses sprang into action, their shock replaced by the urgency of the moment. As the team rushed the baby toward the neonatal unit, Amelia turned back to the lion. It hadn't moved. It sat there, calm and silent, its amber eyes following the baby until it disappeared down the hallway. The lion then looked back at Amelia, almost as if, waiting. "How?" Amelia began, but her voice faltered. She didn't even know what to ask. How had this lion found a baby? Why had it come here, of all places? Before she could gather her thoughts, the lion rose to its feet. With one last lingering look, it turned and padded toward the exit. Rain poured in sheets beyond the glass doors, and as quietly as it had come, the lion vanished into the storm. The room erupted into frantic whispers. "Did anyone just see that? Call animal control. Someone." "No," Amelia interrupted sharply, her tone brooking no argument. "That lion didn't come here to harm anyone. It saved a life tonight. Leave it be." The murmurs died down, but the questions hung heavy in the air. Where had the lion come from? And what about the baby? A golden clue. Amelia didn't have to wait long for her first clue. As she stood near the neonatal unit, a nurse approached her, holding a small object in her hand. "This was in the baby's blanket," the nurse said, her voice still shaky. It was a locket, gold, slightly tarnished, and intricately engraved. Amelia opened it with trembling fingers. Inside was a photograph of a woman holding a newborn, her smile soft and full of love. On the back, an inscription read, "For Anna. Protect him, no matter the cost." The mystery deepened. Who was Anna? Was she the baby's mother? And how was a lion involved in all this? As Amelia pondered, the intercom crackled. "Security to the main entrance. We have a situation." Her heart sank. Could the lion have returned? Or was something worse waiting? The man with the photograph. At the entrance, the scene was chaotic. Reporters, police officers, and curious civilians had gathered outside, drawn by rumors of the lion. Amidst the commotion stood a man, drenched from the rain, clutching a photograph. Amelia pushed through the crowd until she stood before him. "My name is David," he said, his voice cracking. "I'm looking for my son." He held up the photograph. Amelia's breath hitched. It was the same woman and baby from the locket. David explained through tears that his wife, Anna, had died in a car accident 3 days ago. Their car had gone off the road during the storm. By the time he'd returned with help, their baby was gone. I thought I'd lost him too," David choked out. Amelia placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Your son is here, David. He's alive." David's knees buckled as relief washed over him. But when Amelia mentioned the lion, David's face paled. "A lion?" he whispered. "Yes. It brought your son to us. Do you know anything about that?" David hesitated before speaking. "Anna, she grew up near a wildlife sanctuary. She had a bond with a lion there, his name was Solomon. She always said he was special, almost human. Before she passed, she told me Solomon would protect him. I thought she was just delirious. But now..." He trailed off, his voice trembling with disbelief. A goodbye in the rain. As dawn broke, the hospital settled into an uneasy calm. Amelia stepped outside, unable to shake the feeling that the night's events weren't over. And then she saw him. At the edge of the parking lot, half hidden in the shadows, stood the lion. Solomon. His amber eyes locked with hers, and in that moment, Amelia understood. This creature wasn't just a guardian, he was a living testament to the bond between Anna and her child. The lion let out a low rumble, a sound that was neither threatening nor sorrowful. It was a farewell. With the first rays of sunlight glinting off his golden mane, Solomon turned and disappeared into the trees. Amelia clutched the locket in her hand, her heart heavy yet full of awe. Some stories defy explanation. Some bonds transcend life and death. And on that stormy night, a lion proved that love, fierce, unyielding, and boundless, can cross even the wildest of boundaries.